Welcome back to Eva's Kitchen. I'm Eva and this is Eva's Kitchen. Today we're going to be making no-bake Oreo cookie balls. As you can see, I got my apron on because we finna do some serious baking, but not in the oven. So let me give you the ingredients. We're gonna be needing Oreo cookies, the whole pack, cream cheese of your choice, but make sure you set it out at least 8 hours so it can be nice and soft. We'll be using Ghirardelli white vanilla flavor melting wafers. The method we're going to use today is the microwave. And there's instructions on the back to show you, because today we won't be turning the stove on because you need a double boiler. So we're gonna get through this with the 3 ingredients very quickly. So we're also gonna be needing skewers, a knife to chop the cookies, a spatula to mash up the cream cheese, a bowl, a fork, chopping board, and my rolling pin. It looks complicated on it, but it's easy. Now we can even involve the children with this. This would be fun, but just make sure the hands are nice and clean because we're gonna use our best utensils that God gave us, which is our hands. So let's get started.
Go.
Okay, in the bowl we have our cream cheese. I'm gonna use the spatula to match it around and get it all incorporated. And then I'm gonna go back and use my hands, but this is where we're gonna get it nice and soft. Make sure it's nice and soft. You see how easy that is to spread? Because it was nice and soft. Okay, we're gonna put that back. Now we're gonna get our cookies and put them out. We need all the cookies that's in the cookie container because it can make at least 15 to 20 balls. Now, we're gonna chop this up, and you see I have my towel here because while I'm chopping, it gets a little crumbly. And to cut down on all the crumbs and everything, I just put a towel here to contain the crumbs. So we got the cookies. Now, this knife is for chopping the cookies. I'm gonna stack them. And I might have to do them in pieces. Let me get another bowl.
Go.
I got my bowl because when I finish crumbling the cookies, we're gonna do them in batches. And if you do this with children, make sure you do the chopping because we don't want to cut any little fingers. So we're gonna get all these nice and crumbled. And once we crumble them up, we're gonna roll them with the rolling pin.
Go.
Okay, I'll continue to chop the cookies. Now, I did say that the recipe is kid-friendly, but the reason I didn't put them in a plastic bag, because as you're chopping the cookies or beating them with the rolling pin, some of the plastic comes in the cookies, and we don't want to do that. Now, you can put them in a food processor and blend them, but they'll be very powdery. So, with this method, I think, for me, it's best, but you can try it and see what you like. So, as you can see, I have these cookies nice and chopped. So I'm gonna take a few of them out, and I'm gonna do them in batches because as I'm rolling the cookies out, it gets a little crumbly and messy, so I wanna cut back. So I'm gonna take this knife and put it away. So, I got my rolling pin. Doesn't that sound? See, the kids will get a kick out of this. You can let them do the rolling. If you don't have a rolling pin, the best thing next would be a tall drinking glass. Wash it real nice and dry it off and just roll it back and forth with your hands. Now you see how these cookies are starting to crumble? And the reason we're using the cream cheese, because as you know, cream cheese has a sour taste. And these cookies are very sweet. And that kind of off-balance the sweetness. So you get the sweet and the tart taste. And the kids are going to love it. And wait till you see how we're gonna top it off and make it look very festive in Christmas. And you can serve it at your Christmas party. So you take your hand and clean that off. So I have a bowl plate here. I'm gonna take this and do the next batch. And that's why I said we do it in batches, because it takes a little time to do that. Okay, so let's do the next batch. This is a delicious recipe and it's fun. You get that nice crunch in the center when you do it. And another thing with this cookie, we have to refrigerate it at least 2 hours before we use the melting waffle mix, because they seem to get soft and it doesn't adhere too well to the vanilla flavoring cookie waffle, like the dipping sauce. So you can leave a little crunch in your cookie batter, but I'm gonna get it a little bit more finer. You see why I got my apron on today? I told you we're doing some serious baking here today without the oven. So, now, you see we got them nice and crumbled. Make sure your hands are nice and clean. I wash my hands twice. Now I'm gonna take this. I won't be needing this anymore. I'm gonna put this in my sink. Okay, I've washed my hands. I removed my cutting board, my rolling pin. Now we're finna get busy putting the cookie in the batter. The cream cheese, not the batter, but the cream cheese. And I put this towel here to catch all these fly away cookie crumbs. So let's get that in there. And now I'm going to blend it together, but I'm gonna have to use my hands to get it nicely mixed. Okay, let's get busy. It's gonna get a little messy. So once you get it all blended together, that's when you can let the kids come in and help you make the little balls, the Oreo cookie balls, because this might be a little bit too complicated for them. But it's a delicious recipe. And it's not gonna be overly sweet because we use the cream cheese. And there's no sugar in cream cheese. We gotta incorporate it. Now, you don't have to try to be too precise with making your balls. You can make them as big as you want or as small as you want. Let's get a little sticky. And if your hands like mine, they hold heat. So, I'm gonna keep crumbling. And I have my cookie sheet here. I have parchment paper here. And when we finish making the ball, we need to put it in the refrigerator and let it cool for 2 hours. And these cookies, Oreo cookie balls, also can be made a week in advance and put in the freezer, and then come back and use your dipping sauce to dip your cookies in. So if you like doing things ahead of time, if you know you're having a party or something, you can do it ahead of time. So you see how it's kind of sticky. That's why we have to put it in the refrigerator so it can gel together and adhere to the cream cheese. So it's gonna get a little sticky, so that's why we're gonna cool them down in the refrigerator for 2 hours. Now that's a big ball there. I didn't really want it that big, but that's okay. You can make them as big as you want or as small as you want. Now I did make some last night and let them cool overnight. So I'm making these to show you the process of how to make the Oreo cookie balls. So when we get ready to do the dipping sauce, I'm going to take them out of the refrigerator and put this batch in the refrigerator and let them cool. And I'm gonna send these home to my grandkids. That's a big one there. Let's get it a little bit smaller. Okay, as you can see, the balls are all nicely rolled. I'm gonna take my pan, wash my hands, and then we'll be right back. Remember I said we overnight, I made a pre-batch last night and I put them in the refrigerator. So these are the ones that was in the refrigerator. They nice and hardened, and these are a little soft. So the reason, that's why we put them in the refrigerator, so they'll stay nice and hard, so they'll adhere to the melting chocolate. So I'm gonna put this batch back in the refrigerator for my grandchildren. And we're gonna get ready to use our microwave to do the cookie balls. I'm gonna have to get something to cut. We're gonna put our melting chocolate in this cup here, and I'm gonna take it to the microwave, and I'm gonna stir. And okay, we got our melting wafers, so I'm gonna put it on 30 seconds, and then when it's time up, we're gonna stir it a little bit, and hopefully we won't have to do this no more than 2 or 3 times. Okay, this is tape 1, and as you can see, they're not melted yet. So this is going to be tape 2. Tape 2, as you can see, they're starting to melt. So let's do it one more time. Oh, that looks creamy and delicious. One more time, 30 seconds. Okay, we did 30 seconds in the microwave, and this is the consistency that we have. So let's get ready to dip our Oreo cookie balls. Put this in there. Now, what we're going to do, get my skewers out. And you need this to stick them in the, okay, let's get one. See where, now, take our time and put the skewers on and roll it in the dip. And let the excess melting of the wafers drip off. And the reason I got the fork, because I'm going to transfer them without the bar over on the cookie sheet. Oops. Oh, I hate to. I need to dip this one a little bit more.
I think you should drizzle it.
Okay, I want to make sure all that excess cookie icing has dripped off. Because as you can see in the plate there, but the cookies should stay, you should maybe do them in batches, because once they heat up, It's kind of hard for the dough to, the cookie mixture to, okay. You see my Oreo cookie ball? I put them in the refrigerator overnight, in the top of my refrigerator. From looking at that concept as we cook and learn, I think these cookies need to be overnight in the freezer. Put them in a zip bag and let them freeze overnight, because if you put them in the hot melted cookie melt, this is what we're getting. And we don't want that. So what have I done is put them in the freezer for a little bit, and I'm gonna let them stay in the freezer for like 30, 40 minutes. Then we're gonna come back and ice them. So I'll see you in a bit. So let's have a little taste. It's good and rich. Good and rich.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna try peppermint for the topping, chocolate for you chocolate lovers, chocolate on chocolate. And we're gonna dip it, and we're also gonna put pecans on it. So, gonna dip it. And this one, we're gonna put peppermint. Okay. This one for the chocolate lovers. And this one, we're gonna put a pecan. And we're gonna go back again with the peppermint since it's the holiday. Let's try another chocolate for the chocolate lovers. Okay. To producer and I, we went over this backwards and forwards, trying to figure out the best way to make it look pretty. So let's see what we come up with. We're going to take it, dip it, dip it. This is the peppermint. We have peppermint, pecans, and chocolate for the chocolate lovers. Oh, that looks much better. I'm gonna do 4. This is gonna be a pecan. That looks good. I'm trying to not lick my fingers, you guys. It smells delicious. This is going to be for the chocolate lovers. She told me just glob it, but she said just put a dab on it. Now, there we have it. Peppermint, pecan, and chocolate Oreo cookie ball. Make yourself some. So, let's try one for good measure. I'm gonna dip me one here, and I'm a pecan, a nutty girl. So, I'm gonna get a nut, a little bit of nut on it. Oh my goodness. Now, to have this with a cup of coffee, you won't need any sugar. Just put a little cream in and enjoy. This is delicious. Remember, tell a friend, come back and see me, and excuse me with my mouth full. Remember, I'm Eva, and this is Eva's Kitchen. So, I see you next week on the next video. God bless and happy holidays.